My name's Dan. This is my 1968 Chevelle. It's a real SS396. He goes by Sid. So I found this car sitting in a field in Alaska in May of 2021. Here's a video of the gentleman who had the car sitting behind his shop. He was nice enough to put it up on his lift. I got a pretty good look at it, and being from New England, this is probably one of the cleanest examples of an A-body to date that I have been able to find. So this is me getting it home on the first day, and that's my inspiration. It's my dad's 1970 Buick Grand Sport. So I didn't really know what I had, but I knew that it was something special, and it was really good, solid base. It's kind of an interesting car because I could drive it. I bought it with a small block 350, had a turbo 350 trans, and it ran and drove, and it had a clean title. So I did what any kid would do, and I drove it. So the previous owner wasn't fully truthful. It needed a flex plate, so I cleaned it up, and I ended up just driving it. Previous owner, before the guy I bought it off of, had crashed the car. I didn't think there was any frame damage. Little teaser there. Might get into that a little more later. But I realized that this car was fun for what it was, but I wanted to make it something a little bit more powerful. That is a 6-liter LQ4 out of a 2006 Chevy Silverado, but I didn't have any money, so I started flipping Jeeps. So I bought an XJ and a Wrangler that needed some fuel pump work and didn't have any spark, another XJ, and I bought these and sold them. WJ turned into this. I love that thing. Ended up doing bikes too. That's a KX250F. That's what it looked like after. There's a Honda. That's what it looked like after. And this is what it all paid off. That's
it sure as hell doesn't look bad.
Forged internals, piston rods.
That's cool.
Just
those pistons.
Spicy.
These are all the rest of your
Really
old parts.
excited to get this back in the car.
Valve covers, your old rods, bolts. I think that was bolts too.
Yeah.
So, unbeknownst to
thanks.
me,
I'll take
I
it.
would be moving from Alaska.
You guys,
Parts.
LS swap?
Was to put the built LS
Kind of.
in the passenger seat of the car and drive it 4,000 miles. So I bought a trailer and did just that. This is us going through Canada. The sagging wagon.
The sagging wagon. Onward. What's up, puppy dog?
To Missouri. If you watch the previous episodes of this restoration series, you know that I started tearing this car apart. So when we first got to Missouri, we got a really nice, really big garage. Ended up with some jet skis, and I had another bucket list item I wanted, which was a 3-valve Mustang.
We made it home.
So I
About
found
to take
one.
the car to
I bought it.
unfortunately go make it quieter so we can pass inspection.
And we bought a boat. Shared that boat with them, and I got engaged and decided to have my bachelor party at the Freedom Factory. Speaking of bucket lists, I got to meet one of my heroes. And that was all the more motivation to get serious. There's Garrett being real serious. So I started tearing the car apart. This is October of 2022. Pulled the bumpers off, pulled the hood off. Sarah helped me out. Just started gutting the car. At this point, I'd found out that there was a crack in the frame, and I knew that the best way to go about this was to just start from the ground up. Pulled out the small block.
And that was still by far.
Here's where it got a little sketchy.
I've ever done. So let's roll this thing out of here.
So I ended up gutting the frame of the car in the driveway. That was just the easiest way for some reason.
Later by the minute.
Here's a video or a picture of me with the dogs, so you can now hear walking behind me. And that's actually my grandpa and my dad doing the same thing to his Buick a while ago. So got the old suspension out. Ended up with a dog jungle gym. Transported the frame to a frame shop. Got it sandblasted. They straightened the frame out at the frame shop. This is the finished product with the sandblasting. It looks incredible. I ended up sanding it down by hand after, and then decided on powder coat. There were a couple not perfect spots that we had welded by a professional welder. While the frame was in for powder coat, I started cleaning up the rear end. There it is, all cleaned up.
Wow.
Here's the powder coated suspension components and control arms. That's the frame right before sandblast, right before powder coat, and the finished product, gloss black.
Happy to pay you for these. Looks so good.
So trailered it back to the garage, and I started assembling the suspension. I ended up lowering the car about an inch with Eibach springs. It'll probably look the same because the car was sagging so much. I just didn't want it to look like a 4x4. So it's a static setup. Here's just by chance, a photograph of my car and a photograph of my dad's car from the 90s. Same thing. He painted his. But here is my frame with the new coils, new control arms, upper and lower, new shocks. There's my dad hanging out under the body all jacked up.
All right.
So here's where things started to get interesting. This was back in Missouri still, and I decided it was time to go to another location. So we ended up putting the body back on the frame. My buddy came over, gave us some help loading the car up. And we set out for New England. Found our first Chick-fil-A in quite a while. There's Sarah getting some maple coffee. Now we got to the garage at the new rental house, and the car basically wouldn't fit. So I called my dad, who is my best friend, and I asked him if he would let me leave the car in his garage, in his barn, for approximately 8 months. And he said, no problem. So luckily the Chevy 1962 Chevy Biscayne that my dad has, which we'll get into later, is kind of not perfect. So we were able to roll that car out, and he ended up keeping the Chevelle enclosed in his barn for about a year and a half. So we were able to we purchased a house, we got married. I went through a very long training school, we'll leave it at that. And this is a video of me driving back south to his place to go pick the car back up and move it to our new house. So I'm gonna let the clips just roll from here.
So what operation do we have going on here? Got the trailer all hooked up. Time to winch this bad Jackson onto the trailer. Do the old swapperoo. What? What do you think?
I'm gonna throw up.
So now we're pulling the Chevy up so we can jump start the shitty battery off of the car in order to winch the other car up.
So this is my dad's 1962 Chevy Biscayne. My grandfather purchased this car brand new in 1962. It's a 6-cylinder 235 with a 3 on the tree. The car's a pig, so we're building a small block for it. It's been a long time coming. We moved the car over towards the winch just to use the battery to jumpstart the winch to tow the Chevelle up. So the plan was to take the small block out of Sid, the 350, and have it rebuilt and put it in this Biscayne. That went really well until we found out that the starter ear was sheared off. So the machine shop where my engine, the LS LQ4, is being built, opted to give my dad another small block that they had. So this is that engine. Here's it running.
Ready. All right, go ahead.
Hi, Bugs. No, you go leave this thing
So we
alone.
have the car winched up. The full update is my LQ4 is about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks away from being fully assembled and being ready to be started. So I'm super excited about that. I've got a full Holley EFI setup, fuel system for it, and a Terminator X kit. I don't have a lot of knowledge. It's my first time doing this, so it's coming along slowly. But got the car all loaded up, ready to head up north. Took a minute to admire the Buick, get some more motivation and inspiration.
What you think? Want to keep it? She's famous. Nice pooch. This is Maggie approved. All strapped down. Ready to go.
And we're headed back up north.
Made it home safe.
So made it safely, emptied out the garage, got everything I own outside and out of the way. That way I can get this car off of the trailer and into the garage. And I knew the seasons were getting ready to change. But if you notice, the garage is actually insulated and sheetrocked. So that's what my dad and I have been doing behind the scenes. I knew just how cold it was going to get. So this is me stuffing everything in there. Had to go to work and get everything back inside and tucked away before I could figure out what system I was going to use to have enough space in the garage to work on the car effectively.
Cover the winch with plastic, so when I back this thing into wherever I back it into, make sure to do that too. But I'm trying to go to the gym. Well, I finally found Sid. He was hiding. Got all this stuff out of the way, and it's time to see what we got. Also time to install some new lights in this ceiling.
So found the time about a week later to get everything out of the way and start tearing all of the items I had jammed into the car to transport it effectively. back out of the car and see really what I have. Found some new tenants that made their way into the car.
All right, it's day number like 5 of being sick. Trying to make progress on this car. Doing some easy stuff.
I knew it was time to start gutting the interior, really see what the situation was. So I started pulling off the accessories from the firewall, washer motor, things of that nature, trim, weather stripping. Door panels.
But I think today we're going to fire up the vacuum cleaner and get all this crap sucked out of here. And my plan is to just start running the wire wheel in here with a mask on and see what we got going on.
Now, behind the scenes, I was searching for ways to make money to fund this without digging into my life savings. So, the current season was, fall, so it was lawnmower season. Got a whole bunch of free or inexpensive mowers and continued to flip those. Got a little more brave with my projects. Ended up with a friend's ATV for cheap. Sold that at a profit. The season started changing, and I knew it was time to, change with them. So I found some snow blowers and decided it was time to see if I could make some money, spare change on the side from those projects. Took a little break, had some fun with friends. Took a trip out west with Sarah. Did some underwater exploration. Found some more snowblowers. Even got a little bit more brave. Check out that new video, just got posted.
Holding antifreeze, which is wild to me. So if we take a peek at this.
And the seasons continue to change. So where I'm at with Sid right now is the car's tucked away. The garage is freezing cold. As you can tell, the seasons are the winter is very cold. So I'm waiting for a quote for heat to be installed. We're going to continue to enjoy the winter, and I'm going to work on the car as soon as the heat gets installed and I can feel my fingers. So enjoy this video of me enjoying the Arctic Cat, and stay tuned for more. I'm super excited to have the car back in my possession. Thanks for watching.
Can hear that machine echo in the mountains.